Mathieu Steinman, welcome to Cards Against Complexity.
Nice to meet you, Jan.
Nice to meet you here too. Nice to have you here. We met in person at Service Summit. Now we're online to catch up on this recording. I was very much looking forward to this. Before we get started, maybe you give us a quick intro on who you are. And I think who you are is more than Mathieu at Calabrio. So tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Mathieu Steinman. I am, as you just mentioned, working currently at Calabrio since 2 years over there. I'm the pre-sales engineer solution consultant for the whole DACH region. And part of that, I was working in the past for the Austrian Telecom, Magenta. Did quite a lot of stuff over there. Mainly I was working on the workforce management field, but also in the daily call center business. I saw quite a lot of stuff going on there in different positions. And previously I was working as a head of sales in a consulting company where I had my first touch point with a call center, as we were doing outbound calls for market research and sales purposes. So quite a lot of call center and contact center experience, around 15 years. Nice to meet you. And I'm French. I speak German, French, English, and Spanish. And I like to be in that international environment. That's why I'm also currently working for Calabrio.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, international, Next Matter, we ourselves are across 20 different countries, across Europe and North America, all kinds of different cultures. I find it's always exciting. And if it's united within one person, even more so. I'll transition in a second over. And while I do that, being on the mic is not a new thing for you, right? That's we talked about this briefly, but the mic is actually outside of work, something you have in front of us, in front of you. Tell me more.
Yeah, today you are the guy with the mic. I only have my mic and my headphones. But my passion is music, so I'm quite often on stage. I'm doing music already for around 15 years, 20 years. I've got a big band with 8 musicians. I got 3 saxophone players, drums, bass, guitar, keys, background singer. And we are performing quite often on different type of festivals, mainly in Austria, sometimes in Germany. As I perform mainly in German, I add some French stuff into my music, but my main audience is German speaking. So German is the main language, yeah. And I like to be on stage.
Very cool. So for everyone that wants to listen into some German music, there's a link in the below. We'll chat about this in a second. But before we do that, maybe let's jump into the Cards Against Complexity, which is what we're here for. Besides then diving a bit deeper into your experience in the call center and working in customer service. So, Cards Against Complexity, you should, and everyone should now see the deck in front of you. Quick introduction to the game. On the left-hand side, I have a card that I'll open in a second, which is a sentence that you would want to complete. And there's 3 options on the right-hand side, and you'll have to figure out which one you choose. Let's see where we get. So a client asks you which language the agents should use to make multilingual customers happier. You reply, Spanish because nothing feels warmer than a lo siento. French because even mistakes sound luxurious when a sentence starts with malheureusement, and you're better than me at saying that. Or you just choose German because words like Nahrungsmittel, Unverträglichkeit sound very official.
Personally, if I would need to choose a language, it would be French. I'm French, so I got a French background, even though I grew up in Germany. And I like the idea of making sound, even mistakes, luxurious, as you want to always provide the best service to your customers, and mistakes happen, they are human. Nevertheless, you want to provide the feeling that every customer is treated in a very special way.
Yeah. So for the special touch, we get some French in there, and wouldn't that be nice? Getting a bit your especially as a multilingual customer, getting a bit the preferred treatment in your language. With AI around the corner, and also some people in the call center really being able to navigate that. Probably a nice future, but also already a current setting, and I think transitioning into that. Would love to get a bit more of your experience. I think you've got a unique setting, as in you're in a technical implementation and the value creation role right now. but you've got a strong background from the field, from the contact center.
Yes.
Tell us a bit more about your experience in like setting up successful teams, I think, in the contact center, because I think that's what even despite all technology progress, what a lot of our listeners probably are challenged with every day.
Yes, that's correct. So you can have chatbots in the front end trying to reduce all your volume, but even the best chatbots, even those who are managed by AI or some programming skills, do mistakes. I love the story from Air Canada, which had a chatbot, which I don't know if you know that story. They provided some wrong information, some misleading information on a customer asking what to do in case of death. And the chatbot provided a fully wrong answer, and they were taken to court because of that. And after that, they shut that chatbot down. So human relationship and human to human relationship still matters the most in the contact center. Every customer wants to be evaluated as an individual and unique person. And that's how you do it the best, when you have people in front of it who can deliver empathy, who can deliver understanding, who can deliver patience, depending on the role in which you are. And what we ask from these call center people or the call center agents, it's quite a lot. You have to think about it. We ask from them patience, we ask from them empathy. As I just said, they need to be multitasking, they need to be flexible, they might need to speak different languages, or they might also need to have some selling skills or some technical skills. They and they have to be very polite all the time. So that's quite a lot what we ask from them, and it's not a very luxurious job. So keeping these people and holding them is quite a challenging task. Even also gaining their interest to like be part of such a company and to deliver the voice of the company, or to be the voice of the company, is something where you want to choose the right people for it. But we all know that the call center market is growing also in the DACH region or in other regions, and it's getting harder to get the right people for these right tasks.
And that's really, really challenging, right? And if you ask like 10 people in the industry or 100 people in the industry, they would probably all say the same in different versions. You were in this role in Telekom Austria and Magenta, and basically looked into building that team, and you were faced with that challenge. What were the biggest like learnings or insights that you can share that helped you actually get the right team on board, but more importantly also like keep them on board, motivate them, and like enable them to fill this role, to be in the end that luxurious French, or in this case Austrian front end, and fill the human role of a customer service agent?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I think the whole recruiting process is you have to be on track and going with time. I love to display it's not the Austrian Telecom, but I love to display the example of an Austrian company which is called Wedify. They do TikTok. And I believe that this is something that it's not going to be for every company. If you are, let's say, an insurance company, you might not want to go in that field. Or if you are working for a lawyer or a big lawyer, like let's say company, and there's a call center behind that might not be the field you want to go into. But if you are a general call center provider, BPO, or working maybe in the telecom industry, it might be suitable for you. So this company, Wedify, their recruiting process, I think it's quite admirable. They don't look at your CV. They don't look at your what you did in the past. They just want to see how motivated you are to work in such a company. And next to it, they also do advertising on TikTok in very funny ways and generate some videos with 1 million views. And so if someone is looking then for a job in a call center, they will remind themselves of this company. Now, speaking of Magenta, I think the training process is also something which is quite important. When people come in the company, that they feel well, that they don't feel overwhelmed, depending on what kind of industry you're going in. I speak on a daily basis with different type of companies in different fields and different industries. Some have a training period of 3 weeks or 2. Some have a training period of a year or half a year. So when you recruit that person, you want to have that right person where you believe that this person is going to, first of all, stay for the whole training time. And after that
would be helpful. Yeah,
exactly. Especially if it's so long, like 6 months or a year. Yeah. And after that also, which will deliver good service. And in order to do that, the more the agent is happy, the more the agent will deliver good customer service. And nowadays, if you think about it, there are a lot of jobs like driving a cab, working in a supermarket, where you don't have so many, or it doesn't look like you don't have as much freedom as you could have in a call center. In a call center, the way you schedule people is, there are so many approaches. You can do it by preferences, by availabilities, by bidding, by letting them schedule themselves. And you can give them a lot of freedom by, for example, giving them the possibility to decide when they want to go to lunch, while you respect the needs of your call center. So giving the agents more freedom so they can decide about their life, when they want to work, how they want to work, is something that is quite unique in the call center industry. We can offer a lot of remote work also. Well, after that, we have to check how we're going to report on that and how we're going to deliver the right KPIs and make them still productive. But we can offer them a lot in the call center industry, and give them the feeling that they have more freedom, so that they want to stay and remain in that job, and maybe even want to grow in the company.
Yeah, and that's like that's a human connection. There's a human element to having them engaged and get them excited in the recruiting, get them excited to stay, get them, and then finally doing training, and then getting them excited to actually deliver week on week, month on month, year on year. So one thing you said is putting flexibility first is a great thing. So we can show that this is actually a great job to be in just because of the setting. Another thing is be present with videos, with, like, for example, TikTok, whichever channel of engagement, but so people understand how great it could be for them to be in this role. Anything else that goes, let's say, beyond them being excited, and then seeing that flexibility? Like, how do you think about getting people then also over time, keeping them engaged and getting them maybe also developed?
Yes, so very good points. First of all, there are different approaches. Some suit different companies or the company culture, some don't. There's an approach, for example, of gamification, which can keep people engaged or agents engaged. You don't even need to spend money on that. You can just, for example, if you have a call center where you're, for example, open 6 days a week or 7 days a week, you might need to work on a Saturday or a Sunday. And in these cases, you could also deliver them something which I would call a must-have. I need to get a day free on that given day. It's important for me because I have a meeting or something, I need some personal engagement. And you can decide how many of these you want to give to your agents. And if they perform well in gamification, you could give them more. So you don't even need to give them an Amazon voucher. You can just give them more freedom. That's how to keep them maybe engaged. Obviously, you can also do some engagement sessions where you say, okay, we got a sales rush where we need to close on some certain numbers, or we need to get this product out of stock, so the person selling the most of it will gain, I don't know, an Amazon voucher or anything like that. That's a way how to keep them engaged. But I think also more importantly is to give the feeling that they are well received, the agents, and that someone is looking after them. I know so many stories from, well, not my own, but I saw so many stories of people who really gave their personal best, but it was not matching the requirements of the call center. Why? Because, and especially this is something we're doing a lot in DACH, unfortunately still, we are quite behind in that field, I have a feeling, is that we're doing a lot of side-by-side coaching, and we don't use any tools for that, because we have those workers' councils, which we call Betriebsrat in Germany, who are very strong on the agents' rights, which I find very good on the one side. But on the other side, it reduces the possibilities to grow and to increase knowledge. If I'm getting a side-by-side coaching, which is going to be planned next Wednesday at 2:00, first of all, I'm going to put my best clothes on. Then I'm going to deliver the best service possible because I know someone is sitting next to me. So I'm going to just engage more. And the next thing is that the person who's going to call me, we don't know who's going to call, who's going to contact me. So it might be the subject I'm really good at. And in this case, the side-by-side coaching won't help me. And the team meetings won't help me because it's more on a team level. It could be that I get also a call from a very difficult case where I need to be 45 minutes on the phone, and the whole side-by-side coaching session then was just pointed on that very given subject. And so I know so many stories of people who get 1, 2, 3 side-by-side coachings, and after the third side-by-side coaching, they have been fired. Although they were delivering good customer service in some other ways, but they had some parts where they needed progress, and there was no individual coaching on that level. So there are a lot of tools out there in the market which can help agents grow with their individual needs. And I think that we need to apply them to give the agents the feeling that they are not left alone.
So that's really a twist. Like put the human first, get them the freedom, and then almost the possibility to learn a bit on their own, enabled by technology. So technology supports the human to develop here. First to get into the company with TikTok, to then get trained, and ideally, I mean, technology can enable that, but then get engaged with a freedom that workflow, not workflow management. I always have to think about workflow because next matter, but workforce management gives you for scheduling, and then and remote work gives you, and then also the freedom and the engagement you can get from training them with technology support. Exactly. Thanks for sharing all of that. And like technology is at the center of a lot of customer service, right? And it's at the center of your and my lives. But music is as well, right? It is like, also, yeah. When you're not hanging out in call centers, or when you're not on Zoom calls explaining your product, or in events where we met last, like your passion is in music. Tell us a bit more about this. I think it's nice to also see a bit the person behind the call center, or in this case behind implementation.
Yes, and there are a lot of common fields like AI. It's not only used in the industry and in call centers; it's also used in coming more and more in music. So there's a lot of similarities. You want to deliver the best service to your public or to your audience, and you also have to rehearse. There's training, like in the call center, and there's also different positions in a band. Like, for example, the drummer, who is directing the groove. And I have a saxophone trio, so they have to be really like on time and play the harmonies together. And only if you play them all three together, you're gonna get that harmony. And it's the same thing with a call center. If you have a different type of fields, you want to sell a product, you want to deliver a service or general information to a product, you might want to deliver technical information to a product. So there are some call centers where you will have someone doing all three of it, but you'll probably best perform if you will put like those who are really good at selling on the sales hotline, those who are really have that technical knowledge on the technical hotline, and for the general service, maybe the guys who are doing the overall stuff. Like in my case, I'm the lead singer, and I have eight musicians behind me performing together with me. And without them, I wouldn't get access to these festivals where I'm performing. Like being alone on stage with a DJ, I also do that, but it's more in another context. It's maybe a club, in a club, or on a special event. But these big festivals, they really want that fill the stage with the band. And so I believe there's a lot of same situations which you can find in both lives. There's also improvement.
And who doesn't love music, and who doesn't love a good team to deliver something? So we touched a lot of ground today, like luxurious French customer experience. We want to get there. We want to get there with the right people involved, and like getting people on board, getting them trained, getting them engaged, but also keeping them engaged with freedom, with the right technology at the side, with the right training. And we went all the way into music. Again, the link is down there. I checked out some of your music videos ahead of time. I think it's worth a listen. And if you want to deliver great music or deliver great customer experience, it's a team play. It's a team play of different people. It's a team play of different instruments and technology. But that in the end leads to the right result, properly rehearsed and properly delivered. So, Mathieu, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to chat.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Jan.
Yeah, see you around soon. Probably next one is CCW in a few weeks, actually, in Berlin, for anyone who's around. I'm looking forward to that event already.
Me too.
Have a good one. Bye, Mathieu. Thank you so much.
Bye, Jan. Thanks.